This here is Mona Pizza, makers of the world's best pizza. Fresh sauce and cheese galore, brought straight to your front door. This here is Mona Pizza, makers of all tasty treats.
Oh, hey, didn't see you there. Welcome to episode 105 of Nintendo Unleashed. That's right, Nintendo Unleashed, BlazeKick's one and only weekly Nintendo podcast. We're going to talk about Paper Link today. Is he real? Is he a myth? I don't know. What do you think, Connor?
Well, I mean, if he turns sideways, we'll never find him, so...
Oh, yeah, that's true. He'll be hidden.
Maybe he just does that. That's why he's so hard to find.
Mm-hmm. So I'm here with Connor this week. Hello, Connor.
Hello, Noah.
And it's just us. And we don't have a ton of topics to go over, but like I said, there was a very interesting interview between Game Informer and Miyamoto and Aonuma, where it was mostly comical, but there were definitely some funny tidbits. We have details on a new Castlevania Netflix series, details on the future of Skylanders, Tomorrow Corporation. We are the number one fan of Tomorrow Corporation, so of course we'll be talking about their games on Switch. And food. You know, we are a very well-renowned food podcast, as you all know. And so today we'll be talking about food's role in the new Zelda game for the Nintendo Wii system of console. Or the Nintendo Wii family of consoles, excuse me. Which includes the Wii Mini. Anyway, like always, we're going to start off by talking about what we've been playing this week. So, Connor, what has been on your plate?
Last Friday, I played Quiplash and what's the TKO on BlazeKick Live. Wasn't the greatest round. I think the round we played last time when I wasn't actually in the call was much better, but it was okay. I also kept playing Lego Dimensions. I've been trying to clear out the hub worlds as much as I can. Played Fire Emblem Heroes and Love Live, and I think that's it.
Nice. I haven't had much. It's been a busy week, but I've gotten a lot of time into Fire Emblem Heroes as well. I still like the game a lot. I like it a lot more than Mario Run. And additionally, I got a little bit of I had a day off of school due to snow, and I got a little bit of time playing on the Wii U. I played a little Mario Kart. Had some friends over, so. Fortunately, I've been slacking on my Bayonetta 2 playthrough, but I'm hoping that this weekend, I can finally beat it and move on to Yoshi's Woolly World. I doubt I'm going to beat both of them before the Switch at this point, but at this point, I'd like to at least just beat Bayonetta 2 because, you know, backlogs are fun to clear sometimes when you're playing a good game. And that's it for me this week. And so I will quickly run through this Nintendo download. There's not a whole lot, but there is kind of a funny title, I think. There's a game called Plantera on both Wii U and 3DS where you buy and evolve plants and animals in a virtual garden. And there's actually cross-buy. It's a $5.
We have Flashfire on that game.
Oh, do we?
Yeah, the PC version.
Oh, nice. Is it any good? Do you know?
It was okay. Like, I said I was probably gonna play this a few more times, but then I only played it like once. After that, it kind of like. When the game's off, stuff is still happening. Like it's kind of like gameplay wise, it's not at all, but it's kind of like Farmville in that sense, where like your crops still grow while you're off the game. So you have to however, in this game, hazards and stuff, like things that eat your animals, still come as well. So you have to buy guard dogs.
So you've
and
got
stuff.
To be very attentive. All right.
Yeah, or you could just buy guard dogs and guard dogs. And actually, when I played, I think I actually tried to see what would happen if I would just lose the animal. And all that happened was the wolf scared the pig off the map, and then the pig just came back. So it wasn't even really an issue.
We also have Words Up Academy. Wow. Cool. And YASG, which I'd like to think is pronounced YASG. It's apparently like an arcade score chaser type deal. And Brick Race from RC Maniacs, their weekly release, I guess. On Wii U Virtual Console, Mario vs. Donkey Kong. I believe this is the original Game Boy Advance release. I remember playing this one on the Ambassador program for 3DS. And on 3DS eShop, Parascientific Escape Gear Detective. At first, I thought this said Parascientific Europe, which would be very exciting. And Plantera is also on 3DS, and that's actually cross-buy with Wii U for $4.99. So, pretty good price, perhaps, for that cross-buy deal. If I were to go with the pick of the week, I mean, I would probably I would probably have to go with Plantera. Just the fact that it's cross-buy, it's cool to see developers doing that, even kind of late in this system's life cycle. And from what you described, it sounds like a pretty cool game. Interesting concept. So pick of the week, Plantera.
Yeah, probably.
Cool. Yeah, kind of a weird light week, but we're running up to the Switch. But then again, I think last week or the week before there was a pretty great week. But who knows? Wii U Virtual Console releases have definitely slowed down on the N64 front. I remember there were a lot of those in like January and December, but I guess this is pretty good too. Mario vs. Donkey Kong, good game. So moving into our news this week, arguably, I think the most exciting thing was this interview, which says something about the amount this week. This was sort of, I guess, like a cheeky interview between Game Informer's, I believe, Ben Kuchera. I could be wrong. And Aonuma, not Ben Kuchera. He's at Polygon. Who's the Ben at Ben Reeves? Was it Ben Reeves?
No idea.
I feel like it was a Ben at Game Informer. But anyways, it was Ben Reeves. It was an interview between Ben Reeves and Aonuma and Miyamoto, and he asked them, I think, like 51 or 52 questions about Zelda, and we got some interesting tidbits out of this. According to Aonuma, Link's last name is Link, so just like Mario, his name is Link. They also, when asked about Paper Zelda, they said we're working on it. Now, for a great majority of this interview, it was a very like joking tone. So I would kind of take that with a grain of salt, but interesting to see that they didn't shoot it down instantly,
I can't wait to see a bunch of people at E3 being like, where the hell is Paper Zelda?
We also found out Hyrule is on Earth. And again, that one's like they said after this, I mean, I don't know. They just said Earth. So again, this is a lot of these things very tongue-in-cheek, but still funny to hear their responses. I think my favorite thing was when Ben had this coin, like this Zelda coin, and he had 3 cups, and he played like the cup game where he switched them around. And when I don't know how he planned this, but the cup they lifted, there was a little circular piece of paper shaped like a coin that said 2D Metroid, please. And they saw it and laughed, and I think Aonuma like put it in his coat pocket, so maybe he'll bring it back to Nintendo and they'll consider.
Yeah, Aonuma's next game is going to be Metroid. Everyone's going to be like, what? That's weird.
Open world Metroid. Well, that kind of already is a thing.
But that wouldn't be the 2D.
Yeah. So that was a fun interview. Again, a lot of the details were not really concrete. The one interesting thing, which I think probably was concrete, is Aonuma said that Link does not speak in Breath of the Wild, obviously aside from like grunts and stuff. So I guess that's kind of reassuring.
I'm not sure if this came from this interview, but I saw other people posting that you can't change Link's name in this game.
I think that was from somewhere else. I didn't remember hearing that, but that's interesting as well. I
mean, because the reason for that's probably because voice acting.
Oh yeah, they're definitely going to say Link a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, like there's other games that have it where they always say you or something whenever they say the character's name, which is always awkward.
Mm-hmm.
Or like Clannad, where they just say Tomoya Okazaki no matter what you name yourself.
Right.
So,
yeah, and I guess just to add to the story, add to the immersion or something, which I guess I can respect that choice. It's just interesting because I believe every single Zelda game has allowed you to name your player.
I mean, how many people like really do actually imagine themselves as Link and like name Link after themselves? This is actually
an interesting topic. A lot of people leading up to Breath of the Wild's E3 showing, a lot of people, one of their primary arguments for having a female Zelda was that, like, well, Zelda is a vessel for the player, or not Zelda. Link is like a vessel for the player, so he doesn't necessarily need to be a male. And while I would personally not object to a female Zelda, I personally never saw Link as a vessel. Like, I've always seen Link as a character, you know?
Yeah, and it appears, at least at this game, they're kind of moving towards that. Like with the changing Link's name, or making Link's name unchangeable and just flat out it's Link. Potentially in future games, if they do give him a voice, then that would be even more in that direction.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, personally, again, I'm fine with it because it's for story or whatever, but it's interesting just because every single game has had that. And yeah, in regards to the whole vessel thing, I think for me, what makes it feel like he's not a vessel, I guess, and more of a character is like, not in all of his games, but in some of his games, especially Wind Waker, like how expressive he is.
Mm-hmm.
And in Breath of the Wild as well, you know, for me, it's hard to portray myself onto someone when they're so expressive like that.
For me, it's the fact it's a third-person game.
Oh, yeah, that's true as well.
Like, even if they give you your own, or they just give you a character and you see the character and you didn't design it, if it's first person, then it's still gonna feel much more like you're actually the person than if you're third person.
Right. And obviously, you know, like you said, there's a bit more degree when you create the character, customize the character in something like Animal Crossing or The Sims. But in a game
or
where it's
even
like
Skyrim or Fallout.
Yeah, but in a game where it's like just like one design with like different color tunics, yeah, there's really not a lot of customization going on. So yeah, I think it's fair to say that we agree that Link feels like more of a character than a vessel. So this decision makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I'm really looking forward to the story of this game. They've teased a lot of interesting stuff. I love the voice acting so far. Shame. Well, I technically can play the Japanese version, but I wouldn't have subtitles. What I would consider doing, I mean, I'm likely going to play through the game multiple times, assuming I enjoy it as much as I think I am. And maybe like on a second playthrough, if I already know the story, I'll do, you know, the Japanese version just for the heck of it.
I will wait to play this game until I'm fluent in Japanese.
That's the ultimate motivation right there. Like, you can't play until you are perfectly fluent. So, moving on from that fun interview, and by the way, also, if you aren't afraid of Breath of the Wild, I guess, spoiler type stuff, go check out Game Informer, like their cover story and their impressions, because they have a lot of exclusive coverage for Breath of the Wild. Apparently, they got to play, like, I'm not positive, but I think they might have gotten to play one of the actual dungeons. So if you're interested in details and you aren't concerned with story spoilers or, I guess, mechanical spoilers, maybe go check that out. Anyway, moving on. Netflix has a Castlevania series coming up later this year, I think. And so some interesting tidbits. One, it was described to be very R-rated. So I guess, I mean, I don't know. I certainly wouldn't have like, to me, the desire for things to be like hardcore and gritty has always seemed a bit silly. Like, why force something to be adult when it doesn't have to be? But I guess to some people that matters. So,
well, from what I think I heard just from people talking about it, it seems almost like, I think it was Resident Evil 2. No, 4. Sorry, 4. Like it. I don't remember. Sorry, Resident Evil fans. But just like super campy, but like gritty camp. Like there's blood gushing everywhere, but like huge amounts, and it's clearly not real blood type thing. Like, and that's what I took from conversations I've seen about this. It's supposed to be, which, from what I've seen of Castlevania voice acting, campy seems like a good approach for a Castlevania TV series.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yeah. Personally, I've never been too invested in this. And wasn't it a little while ago we heard back that, like, wasn't it like Nickelodeon or something who was working on like a Legendary series adaptation or something? I don't know if that's related to this at all. I saw some people talking about that when this was announced. Some people,
I think it was Nickelodeon that was working on like I don't remember if it was a TV or a movie, but a Legendary video game franchise.
Some people have also said that this could potentially be an evolution of the Zelda thing we heard about, I think, like a year and a half back. where we heard, oh, they're developing a Zelda series, and from what I've heard from this one has been described, this Castlevania series has been described to be similar to Game of Thrones, and Zelda could have possibly been similar. So who knows? There could be no relation, but interesting to possibly.
That'd be if they are going like super campy and or no matter what they do, I don't think Nintendo would have had Zelda as rated R. So
Oh yeah, no.
Kind of weird if they went from a Zelda series to pretty much the exact opposite end of a spectrum now.
Yeah, quite the drastic tone shift if that's the case. So yeah, I mean, like I said, I've never really been a Castlevania fan, but I have a feeling this could possibly have some awesome music. So if that's the case, I might check it out. We'll see. Anyway, moving on. Skylanders, it has been confirmed, I believe, by Activision that no Skylanders game will be launching in 2017. This I don't know if corroborates is the right word, but sort of is potential further evidence that the series is being, I guess, brought to a halt. Reports from Liam Robertson, which I believe came late last year. I forget the exact timing.
Yeah, I think it was like November. I think it was just after the Crash and Dr. Cortex pack launched.
Oh, okay. So yeah, it sounds. I mean, he had, I guess, done some investigation, found that the series might be ending after poor sales. I think like declining sales for the games and that kind of thing. So yeah, I mean, if that confirms those suspicions and predictions, that's certainly interesting. Obviously, it's never a good thing for for developers to be out of a job, and additionally, it obviously is a worrying sign as well for the Toys to Life thing. And at this point, again, it would be just Lego and Amiibo, since both Disney Infinity is already out of the game, right? That's official, and Skylanders could potentially be on the way out, probably on the way out, seeing as this is the case. Because I think there's been an annual game every year now, right? Since original?
Since release, it's been annual, which is one reason I think Lego kind of caught on, because like everyone was saying, oh, Lego's never going to catch on because it launched as like $100 game or something.
Mm-hmm.
But then they never, like, I think it's been a year and a half since launch now, and they haven't released a sequel yet, and they keep just releasing level packs and stuff. So I think Lego Dimensions probably has the best chance of, I guess, just in an Amiibo now, of surviving due to that and the fact that they work as real Lego or just regular Lego. So, like, if you want
Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, Scooby-Doo. I don't know if Scooby-Doo already has Lego. That's why I was trying to think of someone that doesn't.
Shell, probably, right?
Okay, yeah. If you want Shell and a companion cube and sentry turret from Portal,
right,
then you can just buy this, even if you have no intention of using it with the game. Or you can use it in the game and build, if you have a giant Lego city or something, display Shell in it. So, yeah, I think it has the highest chance of surviving because of that.
Mm-hmm. And perhaps this is just total speculation, but perhaps a lack of confidence in Amiibo could be seen on Nintendo's part. Really, they just barely touched on that in their Switch presentation. Like, they dedicated probably 5 seconds to showing, oh, the Amiibo works with the right Joy-Con.
Yeah, and they still don't really have a game for them. Like, they work and everything, but they haven't launched like a Disney Infinity or Skylanders or Lego Dimensions type game.
Yeah, I remember last year there was like that rumor that, oh, there was going to be like a big Amiibo game or something.
Yeah.
But that never really happened. Maybe it's still in the works for Switch, who knows. The only big one we know of right now that was supported are Breath of the Wild and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So we'll have to wait and see if there's more. Hopefully Smash comes as well, because there's a lot of those Amiibo. Details on the Tomorrow Corporation games, which I mentioned, these are coming to Switch. It sounds like still at launch. And again, there are 3 games: Little Inferno, World of Goo, and Human Resource Machine. And now it sounds like we have the confirmation from Tomorrow Corporation, I believe on Twitter, or it might have been on their site. I actually don't know.
I think it was on their website.
Yeah, but they said that it sounds like all 3 games will be supporting both touch and pointer, which is reassuring, because previously I had asked them or I had asked them on Twitter, hey, are these going to work on the handheld or just the home console? And they said these games will be supported on the handheld. And that, to me, that language possibly suggested, oh, will they not be playable on the TV? But now, luckily, we know they will be. And I found the specific tweet. They were asked, will World of Goo Switch gameplay be compatible with a touchscreen or have a motion pointer option? And they said they will have both. And the fact that they replied with they will have both, I guess would seem to suggest all 3 games will have both configurations, which is good. I wasn't too worried about that because I figured there's a lot of tech in the Joy-Cons, but that just further solidifies my day one World of Goo purchase. So that's exciting. Hope it's no cheaper than $15. Hopefully, like I think it's still 15 on is it still 15 on Steam? I feel like I checked and it was. Because I feel like $10 would be a great price just because it's an older game. Like, not to say older games are. Yeah, it's $10 on Steam, so I would hope for a $10 release. But we'll see. I'm excited for that. What do you prefer? Are you a pointer guy or a touch guy for those games?
For World of Goo, I'd probably say pointer, but Little Inferno, I definitely say touch.
Yeah, I might have to say the same. Although for me, I mean, World of Goo, I'm definitively pointer. I would kind of have to go back and forth on Little Inferno because I find the touch can be more precise, but at the same time, it is always kind of fun to sling around stuff with the Wii Remote. Now, Human Resource Machine, I actually haven't tried with pointer. I don't even know if it supports it. I've only done that touch. It doesn't seem like it would lend itself very well to pointer based on the nature of the gameplay. But I mean, I guess it's worth a shot because you're like dragging these boxes of text into this window. It just seems like it would be very odd to do that with pointer, but I guess it's nice to have it as an option. So next up, we have Fire Emblem stuff. Looks like Choose Your Legends, right?
Yep.
So this was a competition that Nintendo launched, I think, before the game was out. Yeah, like maybe a week or two before the game.
I think it launched right after the Direct.
Okay, nice. And it was basically kind of similar to the Smash Ballot, but you can't like type names in. There's like a list. And now the top 4 characters will be getting, I think, like special versions, which hopefully will have different poses, costumes, and all that.
Top 2 male and top 2 female.
Yeah. So for the males, the top 3 were Ike, Roy, and Hector. So Ike and Roy will be getting special versions, and Ike
made top 5.
Yeah,
twice.
And I actually don't even think he's in the game yet. So I guess maybe that's how they'll add him.
Marth also made it in the top 20 twice. He made it as 6 and 17. We're not going to go through all of these, but
yeah. Who else is on your Leo zone here? Pretty standard stuff. Donald we think is probably our favorite. Donald's 13th, which is not bad. And for the girls, we have Lynn in first place with a pretty big margin. Lucina, actually, I'd say the biggest margin is probably between second and third. Yeah. So Lynn in first. Lynn in first with 49,000 votes. Lucina in second with 42,000, and Tharja in third with 29,000. Rip Camilla in fourth place.
I was expecting Lucina and Camilla to win. I mean, maybe I just don't pay attention to the Fire Emblem community, but it seems like those two are like the most popular. I never see anyone talk about Lynn.
I mean, certainly she's one of the older characters and perhaps more popular with like the, I guess, classic fans, you could say, but certainly with the resurgence of the series, thanks to Awakening and Fates, I would certainly expect them to take the top place, but I guess it's kind of cool. I mean, personally, I think Lynn has a great design in the game, and she's awesome, even though I've never played the game she's from.
The only thing I can really think of for why, especially since there's such a huge gap between her and Lucina and then Tharja, the only reason I could think of is people for some reason just voted her because she's an assist trophy in Smash.
Oh, that's possible as well, yeah.
I don't like. I could see her winning and me never hearing her because I don't pay much attention to the Fire Emblem community. But the fact that she got 20,000 more than third place is just shocking.
It's a lot, yeah. What I will say is that her the only issue with this theory is that this poll came out before Heroes, but her design in Heroes is interesting, I will say. And made them, I was gonna say that may have motivated some players, but at the same time, this poll came out before the game, so maybe she's just that loved of a, I guess, a classic retro.
Maybe it is just Smash fans voting because the top two or the characters getting costumes are all related to Smash and some.
Yeah, it's true. Ike, Roy, Lynn, Assist Trophy, and Lucina. That's a good point.
Smash fans.
Speaking of characters I've never heard, I don't know who Hector is in third place for the Heroes, but oh well. I'm going to get hated on by classic fans. So that's it for the Choose Your Legends. Hopefully there's more stuff like this in the future for more Nintendo games because it's always fun.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, we have some new footage for ARMS, which shows off in more detail the specific abilities of the characters, as well as some new, I guess, ARM weapons. So I believe there are just currently 5 announced characters. So we have Spring Boy, Ribbon Girl, Master Mummy, Ninjaro, I think his name is, and Mecha. I forget what the girl in the mech's name is. Like Mecha something. I'm just gonna call her Mecha. And they each have special abilities. For instance, Spring Boy has like some type of counter. Ribbon Girl can like jump twice and she can do dashes, like multiple dashes in the air. Master Mummy can, I think, like resist, like he doesn't flinch or is less likely to flinch. Jaro can kind of like disappear, like when he does his dash, he becomes invisible for a moment. And Mecha can fly. So we already sort of saw those. I think personally what was more interesting was seeing the new weapons. So there's like a fire fist, which sets the opponent on fire. There's this really weird one. It's like a very slimy, like weird looking fist. It's called the Salamander. It has the same effect as the fire, but it's very whip-like. Revolver. So pretty interesting weapons. I'm definitely interested. I'm definitely interested in this game. I'm certainly more interested in this game than 1-2 Switch. I just really hope more fighters are announced. They've said more are going to be in it, but you know, what do you think?
I didn't even know there was a new trailer or anything for it.
I think they kind of just. I think it was like just dropped on like the Nintendo Japan channel. Like I don't think America made a big deal out of it, but
the game though seems fun. I'm not totally sure if I'm gonna get it though. I mean, like the online price is seeming worth it to me with how cheap it is, but
this is actually one of those games that comes out before the online is paid.
Yeah, but I'm not getting a Switch before that.
Oh yeah, true.
But so like I don't know. By the time I get one, this game will probably be like a year old, and like how many non-competitive people are going to be playing it at that point?
Right. We shall see.
Because at least Splatoon, even like you can still like get it. Like, what am I trying to say? Even if you're against a competitive person, it's still team reliant. Whereas this, it's more solo. So if you're against a competitive person, you're basically screwed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I personally saw a lot of that on Splatoon as someone who played the game like a year and a half after it came out. Like a vast majority of the players are ultra skilled Japanese players. So, who knows how that'll compare to ARMS? Again, we don't know how popular this game is going to be. Obviously, Splatoon took up a huge following, but we'll have to wait and see. And so our last topic here, I thought this would be fun. So Breath of the Wild is coming out on March 3rd, and you can do cooking in that game, and I believe that's the first Zelda game you can actually cook stuff in. You could certainly drink milk in it.
Zelda edition?
Ooh, that'll be a fun spin-off. Utilizing that HD Rumble for realistic chopping.
Now I want a cooking mama game on the Switch. Thanks.
Yeah, me too. That would be awesome, actually. You can feel, like, when you're stirring the batter, you can feel the resistance. Anyway, so I'm wondering, what would be just a great food to have in here? So I'm thinking Rice Krispie treats. I don't know how big Rice Krispie treats are in Canada. I don't know if you have like a deep love for them.
They're not like a deep thing. They're kind of a Christmas thing here.
Okay.
Like, you can go to Starbucks or something and they have them, but people only really make them around Christmas time. And at Christmas time, there's special Rice Krispie boxes that have instructions for making them on the back. So,
Yeah, I love both. I mean, the boxed ones are all right. Here you can get them like pre-made, if that makes sense.
yeah, you can get them like that here too, but they don't
Okay,
taste
nice.
very good.
Yeah, no. So the homemade ones are like where it's at. So I'm thinking if Link can gather up some maybe choo-choo jelly, he might not be able to find marshmallows. If there's like a white choo-choo, and he can find rice and dry it, if he can dehydrate the rice, I would personally love munching down on a homemade Rice Krispie treat in Zelda. And if it were to grant an ability, I would say the cozy ability, where your Link is just very comfortable and he never gets cold or sad. That'd be if you could pick one food, what would it be? How would you make it, and what abilities would it grant?
I'm trying to think of something that seems really complicated. You can make hamburger pizza.
Ooh, nice. So you're gonna have to.
So you're gonna need
I'm gonna
some
need
kind of meat.
Right. Now, luckily, we've got plenty of animals in Hyrule.
Yeah, well, I think they usually have both ground beef and pepperoni on them.
Okay, nice.
So
we're gonna need a cow.
So cow, pig. I don't know what pepperoni
Now,
is.
I don't know if there are cows, so we might have to settle for a horse.
Damn. Can you do that? Can you kill a horse?
No,
and make
you
meat
can't.
out?
Your horse can die, but you can't eat it. So
Okay.
there might be cows though. I don't know.
Yeah, wasn't there a cow in the original trailer?
I know there were deer.
Maybe it was a
Maybe
deer.
there was a cow. Yeah.
Okay, well, you can use deer to make a
There you go.
hamburger. So you need deer. You need wheat for the crust / bun. Then tomatoes.
Yeah, totally. We've got tomatoes everywhere.
I don't. You need cows for cheese.
Yeah. Well, they're probably goats. We can settle for goat
Oh
milk.
yeah, right. Okay, so goat cheese. Can you actually get milk and make it into cheese in this game though?
I don't think so, but I just thought of something. While you can't milk goats, Zelda games have always had milk, or at least
right.
a lot of them. So
Yeah.
we can get lawn milk, right? That's what it's called.
Yeah.
Okay,
and then what else do they have? I think that I'm missing something. Well, sometimes people put like mustard on it or something.
Yeah, but I'd say that's pretty good. Now, so what ability or abilities?
Okay, it grants him the party ability.
Awesome.
It makes him immune to damage for like an hour after eating.
Oh my god.
But then immediately after that hour, you just take half your hearts. You just lose them right away.
So
and then you start moving around.
Half of your current hearts or total possible hearts?
Total possible.
Oh, okay. So if you're below half hearts,
you're dead. And you start moving around really sluggishly.
That would be special.
But for an hour, you're invincible.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're only going to play for an hour,
actually, that might be perfect if you go straight to the final boss.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is gather those ingredients, party it up, and speedrun strats right there.
Yeah, there's the speedrun strats. Just make a hamburger pizza.
Yep. So, hope you guys enjoyed that topic. Look forward to more food-related topics in the future as we begin to expand Bray's Kick Eats. And our poll this week, I am also very, very proud of. But first, we'll go through last week's poll, which was Fire Emblem related.
Yeah, we said in relation to Fire Emblem Heroes, have/will you, and then 77% already downloaded the game, 9% will download soon. I don't know if they already have, but I mean the poll just ended like a couple hours ago, so
at this point they
probably have not. However, I guess they could have voted 2 days ago when it launched. So, and 14% say they have no plans on downloading. We got 43 votes.
Not bad. Pretty good turnout there. In this week's poll, we are asking about what is your Joy-Con OTP? So for those of you who don't know, that is one true pairing. So which Joy-Cons would make just the cutest couple? So first we have blue cross gray, red cross gray, and blue cross red, of course, the neon pairing. So I am very curious. I'm predicting a win for the neon pairing. We should come up with ship names here. We can have
Blay,
I think
Ray,
I think we should have Bray. Oh, Bray, Gred. Wait, which? Oh, wait, okay, yeah. The last. Okay, so Bray, Gred, and Bled. So, your pick. Of course, blue gray is Bray, right? Red gray is Gred, or wait, gray red is Gred, and blue red is Bled. So let us know who is the cutest couple. That's it, folks. We have a VidMe. You might be listening to this on VidMe. I don't know. VidMe is a cool service you can check about, which I don't know nearly as much about as Connor, so I'm being incredibly vague to avoid sounding like an idiot. But go subscribe. Actually, no, VidMe is a follow thing, right? You follow people on VidMe?
Yeah.
Okay, so go follow us on VidMe if you would rather use that than YouTube, and we respect that choice. Also, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. That is youtube.com/BlazeKickMedia, where we put out this podcast, other podcasts, flash fires, a bunch of fun stuff. Also, be sure to subscribe to us on iTunes and Google Play Music. Leave a rating. Let us know if you like the show. You can follow us on Twitter. I'm at Dashy007.
I'm at 031.
You can find BlazeKick at BlazeKickTweet, and you can find the podcast at Nin Unleashed. And of course, be sure to visit BlazeKick.com, the hub for all of our content and all of our Guy Fieri recipes all together in one place for you to make a delicious meal. Ooh, we should put together a Guy Fieri cookbook for Breath of the Wild. I think once the game comes out, we're going to compile all the recipes you can make in the game and then add a Guy Fieri flair with his just spicy attitude. Sell it.
Add hot sauce, add hot sauce, add hot sauce.
So nobody do that idea. That's my idea. That's Noah's. Look forward to that in the future. I'll sell it for as cheap as I can.
No,
On Amazon Books.
don't steal. Please don't steal.
Yeah. Well,
Then Guy Fieri just tweets it out. Hey guys, I found this great cookbook on Amazon Books.
oh man, that is the day when my dreams are really fulfilled.
Hashtag goals.
Recognized by the guy himself, aka Guzma. All right, well, that's it, folks. Thank you for listening. Let us know in the comments what food you would want to see in Zelda, how you would make it, and what abilities it would grant. I am honestly very curious because this is probably one of the most interesting topics I've thought of, at least to me. I just love food, so I can't help it. Love food and Zelda. Finally glad they're together. All right. See you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Nintendo Unleashed. I mean Nintendo Undead.
Wrong holiday.
Uh-oh.
Rip you.
Welcome to Nintendo Unloved. I think that's the name of this episode.
Rip Unleashed.